Hello, I'm Scott Brady with Overland Journal.
And I'm Matt Swartz with Expedition Portal.
And we are out here with the first edition Hummer EV in the beautiful Sonoran Desert of Arizona. And we are so excited to get this thing on the trail.
It's incredible what the experience was like on the pavement and on the dirt already. And I drove first, Scott's about to take over. But I mean, man, getting a super truck out on the trail, especially an electric one, is a pretty wild experience. And we're excited to share that with you.
Yeah, this will be my first time taking an all-electric vehicle on the dirt. It's going to be an all-new experience for me, and I can't wait to share with you what we experience. So we're driving through the Sonoran Desert. These are trails that I'm familiar with, having spent the last 2 decades in Arizona. Typically, a vehicle of this size, you would notice it on these tighter trails, particularly in the tighter turns. But because of the four-wheel steering, the vehicle easily navigates through this terrain. In fact, it's got a turning radius similar to a two-door Jeep Wrangler. The other thing that I'm looking for in this vehicle at this moment is what's the ride quality like? What's going to be that all day long driving fatigue? Is it going to be comfortable for me to drive for 5, 6, 7, or 8 hours on the trail heading off to an overland destination? And so I'm going to be looking at what's the steering feel, what is the steering weighting, what is the ride quality like, and let's talk about ride quality first. We're sitting on four-wheel independent suspension with airbags, which is typically going to give us the best overall ride quality combination we can find in an off-road vehicle, because the air springs do such a wonderful job of isolating, of attenuating those inputs that we experience on the trail. And it's kind of like riding on a cloud in a way. And because it's also a long travel suspension, we're not getting into the bump stops. We're not topping out. During larger inputs and events, we're not feeling it blow through the travel and have that hard impact that really can disrupt the driver or unsettle the vehicle. Overall steering effort is very low at these speeds. It's nice because they do adjust steering effort depending on speed. So when you get a little bit faster, the effort goes up, which makes the steering feel more direct. And it probably is. They probably tune it to be more direct at higher speeds as well. But at low speeds, low effort, and that four-wheel steering kind of makes it feel like you're in a much smaller vehicle. So one of the things we definitely encounter a lot in the Southwest is driving in the bottom of a wash. It seems a little unnerving to be doing it during a storm, but it's actually very dry. We've got a lot of corrugations down here too. So what we're looking for with corrugations is, again, that driver fatigue. This doesn't have a beam rear axle. It's independent front and rear, so we're not going to get a lot of axle wrap out of it. It'll be nominal. And it feels like actually none at all, but you do get a little bit of wheel hop. So we are at the lower speeds, we're experiencing a little bit of wheel hop, which is a reflection of both the spring rate of the airbag and the damping effectiveness of their active dampers as well. But once you get up even at 15, 20 miles per hour, it really smooths out. Overall, they're very rounded, so we're looking for avoiding that harshness. We want it to overall feel rounded and in control. We don't want the vehicle to step out when we're coming around the corner. We don't want it to understeer through corrugation, and we definitely don't want it to oversteer unexpectedly because of corrugation for the rear axle. So overall, really comfortable ride in corrugations.
It is a Hummer. It looks like a Hummer, although it's a little more futuristic. But on the inside, it's kind of a futuristic feeling vehicle. We've got a very large infotainment screen that's touch sensitive with a whole bunch of piano key buttons that will change depending on what features you're using on the screen. In a place where you have the infrastructure to charge, this is a perfectly acceptable vehicle for overland travel. It's not going to be the vehicle for everyone, but for the people that appreciate it, my suspicion is you will enjoy it.